Hello there, welcome to AB United TV. This is my match reaction for Manchester United 1, Luton 0. So, as you can see, another crappy game with no style of play, with no patterns of play, is just, at this point, scraping wins against teams at the bottom of the league. I saw a stat which said 5 wins, in the last, or sorry, 4 wins in the last 5 games. And I'm like, the game that we actually should have won, the one that mattered the most, we got battered 3-0. So I don't know what the people who are putting that stat want to show, but there is nothing to be positive about this side at this point. Yes, we are getting the 3 points, but in the long run, we need to have a certain style of play, which this manager has totally, abandoned since last season anyway. But speaking about the game, in general, Luton were not that good. Um, and we like created a few chances, but it was more so of, of moments. There was not enough intricate passing involved to get the goal that we scored. It was just, of a set piece and then a second ball. So the gameplay was crap, and in general, our midfield is still bad, our attack is still bad. We are relying on defenders to win us games, center backs. Like, it doesn't make any sense. This manager is not able to get the best out of this team at this point, and it is what it is. But we expect this team to progress, but this is not happening. And at this point, it's just get a win and get out of there, right? But unless and until this manager is sacked, we are not going to see a proper style of play, and we are not going to see this team progress and hit the levels that we expect them to hit, which is compete for the title, compete for the Champions League. But you know what? In December, we're going to see the real, deal of this team, because we have a lot of tough fixtures. And I don't think we are gonna win any of those games, to be honest with you. We're probably gonna win maybe against Bournemouth and maybe a scrappy lucky win against some other team. But Anfield away is gonna be tough. Chelsea and Aston Villa at home is gonna be tough. So let's see what this manager does, but I'm not feeling positive. I hope that we kind of uh, get to a point where we are like, okay, I'm seeing some style of play or something. Let's see what goes on with this team. But until then, it's just pain, guys. It's just gonna be pain. And as I always say, that this manager needs to go. Until he goes, we are not gonna improve. And as much as people want to say it's the owners, it's the board of directors, whatnot, this manager got his team. He brought in Amrabat, who's looking like a scam rabat, to be honest with you. Then he got in Mount, who has nothing. He's just not able to fit in this team. And I knew this was gonna happen because the way he plays, he kind of ghosts in games. We already have that kind of player in McTominay, so why did we add one more? Then you look at his other signings, Hoyland, no goals in the Premier League. As much as we can say, he's not getting the service, this and the other thing, whatever you wanna say, like Rashford is not supplying him Anthony. He got one easy chance in that game against Luton. But what did he do? He couldn't score that goal. Harry Kane, if he plays in the same position, that's a goal. But obviously, we cannot compare him to Kane because Kane's in a finished article and Hoyland is just, raw at this point. Um, and who else has he signed this season? Let me think. I think that's pretty much it, right? Um, so as you can see, like most of his signings have been flop, to be honest with you, and I don't think it's gonna improve from here. But you know what? Let's see what he does, and let's hope that Manchester United can gather some momentum and win some important games, and the team looks like they're playing as a team, and there's certain patterns or style of play that we can see and be like, okay, I know what you're trying to do. But until then, as I said, it's gonna be pain, and that is it. I'm Ten Hag out. Let's hope that this manager gets sacked, because as much as I want this manager to be in and improve and win the Premier League, Champions League, I know that's not gonna happen. And that's not gonna happen. What have we seen from this manager that tells you that he's gonna make this team, look like a title challenging team? Last season, if you look at the team, we barely scored goals. We relied on our defensive ability to get the victories, but there were no clear patterns of play, no style of play, no fluid, gameplay. Most of the gameplay, if you see, it was, you know, relying on Rashford to come up with a goal, or relying on like, individual brilliance basically. Even the Barcelona game, if you look at the goal, right? Garnacho takes a shot, it bounces back. Bruno takes a shot, it bounces back, and then Anthony hits the goal. So that's the goal that we score. There's no like intricate passing involved. And if you look at City's goal against Chelsea, the fourth goal that Rodri scored, that is called a style of play. The 1-2 at the on the wing, cut in, 1-2 again in the center, Rodri shoots. Okay, it's deflected, but that's how they open up the teams. On the other hand, we barely do that. We can't do that because Bruno, he can do it. Rashford, he can do it. And this manager is not coaching the players to play that kind of style. He's already reformed to transition style, which I don't know what that is. What is transition ball? Tell me, what is transition ball? I only see hoof ball. That is it. That's all we are doing. Onana is hoofing the ball to Hoyland. Hoyland, if he's gonna win the header, good. If not, we are relying to get a win on the second balls. If we don't win that, then it's all over. We lose the possession, back to square one. That's what happened against City. So this manager who says we're going to play transition ball, he's relying on moments where the opposition make mistakes and we, capitalize on that and basically score a goal. Yeah, that is good. We should be doing that. But on top of that, what are we doing on the ball? We don't have any composure. We don't have any sort of vision of how we want to play through the center. Most of the times right now I'm seeing is Harry Maguire doing this diagonal pass to Garnacho and, Regulon. But what is the end product? The ball goes out there on the wing, but we are not doing anything. It comes back again in a U circle to the right winger. And then it goes back again in the U circle to the left winger. So there is no sort of proper gameplay through the center of the midfield. And if the center is packed, then the wingers need to be better. And our wingers are being crap. So all in all, it's just a crappy situation. And I don't want to ramble on and on about this. But basically, let's hope that Ten Hag is sacked and we get a new manager like Xabi Alonso or maybe Hansi Flick. Because those guys, like Xabi Alonso, for example, the way he's playing with Bayer Leverkusen right now, the style of play that you see is what we want. We want to see those triangles. We want to see those intricate passing, and then you switch the ball to the wing because now you have like all the opposition players crowded on one wing. So that's how the gameplay is built. But we don't do that. We just put the ball in the wing, go back, you to Rashford, go back, you to Garnacho. There is no sort of triangles or intricate gameplay forming along the midfield. We have two high eights that are so close to the striker, but Ericsson is just left by his own. All he can do is either pass to the center back or throw it down to the wing. That's all he can do. Because the midfield players are not dropping deep and not creating those triangles. Ideally, you want McTominay or Bruno or anyone who plays the midfield create triangles with the wingers and create that like sort of pattern of play where you can then do those one twos, get the ball in the box or shoot whatever. But that's how you're gonna create chances. We are not doing that. Why are we not doing that? So as much as I can like ramble on and on about this manager, ultimately he doesn't know what a proper style of play is. He did it in Ajax and now he's saying he cannot do it because he doesn't have the players. That's a lie. He got Amrabat, he got Mount, he got Malasia, he got Ericsson, he got Hoyland. He got all these players and now he's saying he cannot play it. Like, then why did you even come here? If you're not going to play the Manchester United style, then you need to go. And if you cannot play any style, like I'm hoping that he plays either Ajax style or play the Manchester United style. Play something. But right now we have no style. No style of play. He was brought to play Ajax ball. He's not doing that. Okay, then you play counter-attack. You're not doing that. So what are you doing? You need to go. And the sooner you go, the better. Because I cannot tolerate this. I cannot watch the games. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's just frustrating that I have to see this. Game after game, we are struggling to create patterns, struggling to score goals. And then we concede like random goals from nowhere, like Dalot making the same mistake over and over again, Van Bissaka making the same mistake over and over again. How many mistakes do we need to do before this manager comes and says, you know what, you are out. You cannot play this properly. I'm going to play a youth player or whatever. But, Rashford's performance has been so garbage this whole season. Yet he keeps on starting game after game. He's even now starting on the right wing. What is he doing on the right wing? He's as good as, Bebe on the right wing. And then he ousted Sancho. Okay, Sancho might not be pulling up trees at Manchester United. But what has Anthony done? What has he done? But yet he starts. He starts every game. Now he's been finally dropped for the few games. But he's going to come back after one good performance. But then with Sancho, you just be like, get out from here. Yes, Sancho is not the best place. But the gameplay that you play is not suiting these players who have high technical ability. We need to play a midfield of Casemiro, Amrabat and Ericsson. That is the best you can do. Bruno is not technically good enough, but he's your captain. You made him the captain. How can you do this? Bruno as a captain, you saw him against Liverpool when we lost 7-0. His attitude, his character. That's when you know whether a player is worth captain material or not, when the team is not doing well. When you need your leaders to pick up the team and make them play better. And we don't have that in Bruno. But you made him the captain, right? That's the worst thing that has happened. And then you give players like Rashford chance after chance, chance after chance. What's the point? Play Garnacho, play Pelestri, play somebody else. Give the other players a chance. Why is Van de Beek not getting a game? What has McTominay done? Yeah, he scored 2 goals against Brentford. But then his overall gameplay is shit. He can't play in the midfield for Manchester United. You sold Fred and you got Mount to play transition ball. Fred would have been the perfect player to play transition ball if you wanted that. His work rate, his tenacity. And you get Mount who gets ghosted in games. Absolutely horrible decision making this manager has done. And I cannot stand by this. Game after game, we are seeing the same nonsense. We need to be better. We need to be better as a team. In the Copenhagen game, you see that you have a red card, who Who are your leaders on the pitch that are like, saying, okay, we need to be calm. We need to not concede goals. There we go, 2-2. And then again, we have 3-2. And you're celebrating like you have fucking won against, some world-class team. It's Copenhagen. Garnacho shushing off Copenhagen fans. This is embarrassing. And then we go on to concede 2 goals at the end. And we're going to get knocked out of the Champions League. I don't see us winning against either Galatasaray or Bayern Munich. It's not going to happen, guys. This manager is done out here. It's over for him. He needs to go. Ten Hag out. I'm done.